Alright, y'all. So, talk about what the difference is between an LPN and an RN in long-term care setting, meaning nursing homes, assisted living facilities, things like that. Like, what is the difference in their role? So, off the bat, there really is no difference. Honestly, there really is no difference. Now, at the end of the day, the RN's title is over the LPN or LVN title, and the RN is in a lot of ways responsible for LPNs because there's a lot of situations where the RN would have to sign off for an LPN or an LVN. That typically comes into play when you're looking at documentation, which is everything in nursing, especially when it comes to assessments of patients. So technically, in a long-term care facility, or in general, the LPN cannot do the initial assessment of a patient. If a patient is in any facility, anywhere, if the patient comes into that facility and they need to be assessed by someone, or it's on that unit, whatever, that initial assessment, that head to toe assessment of the patient needs to be conducted by an RN. But they say that an LPN or an LVN can do it as long as an RN then comes and co-signs to say, okay, it was done. Some people, they literally only co-sign. What you really are supposed to do is that LPN or LVN does the head to toe assessment. What was that noise? What was I saying, y'all? I don't know. I got my train of thought. It was a chair. My baby was putting up a folding chair and fell. But she said it was okay. He said, oh, it's just a chair. It's okay. Anyhow, I digress. The RN, they only will co-sign it, but really what you're supposed to do is actually go behind the LVN or the LPN and do the assessment yourself, then co-sign. Not just say, oh, she's good for it and it's co-sign. Like, no. You need to, or what you could do is, if you're going in a room with a patient and the LPN or LVN is doing it head to toe, and you're kind of in there too, looking at them, listening to them, all that, the LVN or LPN can do the documentation and put everything in the computer, and then the RN can sign off. But typically in nursing homes, when I'm telling y'all, there's no RNs to be found most of the time. And the LPNs are always doing those initial assessments, and I'm sure somebody's just coming behind and signing off on it, or clicking a button and signing off. Pressing submit. I mean, however it works nowadays. But there really is no difference. That's a big difference, that you're not supposed to do that technically as an LPN, and that the RN is supposed to be signing off. That's a big difference as far as responsibility and things like that, and what's really going on and what's not going on. But yeah, that is a difference between them that you see in a nursing home, but the day-to-day work is the same. Charge nurses on the unit in nursing homes, they call the nurse, that whatever nurse is over that unit, they call that the charge nurse. It's not like how it is in hospitals where you have an actual charge nurse, then you have separate nurses that have certain sections of the hall. No. The charge nurse, the one nurse up there, they just in charge of the whole unit. That's only one nurse. Or two nurses or whatever. And no matter if it's an RN or LPN, they're doing basically the same thing. Now, there are certain things that may be policies that they have, like at a facility. For example, I talked about this in previous videos, how at a facility I was at, the RN, like if somebody G2 fell out and we needed to just go, we got orders to just go ahead and reinsert it and maybe get an x-ray to verify placement. The RN would have to reinsert it and sign off on it. An LPN cannot technically do that. That's part of their protocol, that an RN has to do it. So it might be little things like that, but for the most part, the day-to-day work is going to be the same. So there really is no difference. I hope that kind of cleared up some things for you all. There is certain times where it comes into play in nursing homes, and more in hospitals, especially like with blood administration. There's some other things that like LPNs can do more so in the hospital, but in the nursing home, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just the more so the documentation, which, like I said, is nursing, honestly. But that's really the difference. Now, of course, there may be some places that they can't have a DON be an LPN and have to be an RN. So there is a difference in that you don't always see a lot of LPNs or LVNs in those higher leadership positions, but you may see like a ADON or an assistant director of nursing be an LPN or LVN. And I'm sure some facilities in some states have LPNs that can be that can be DONs. Child, y'all see I'm tired. Let me know, does your state allow DONs, or like what level, what's the highest level that you've seen an LPN or LVN be placed as far as in a facility? I know you can be an administrator with that, because you don't even have to be a nurse to be an administrator, but you can definitely be an administrator with an LPN license. So that's that. Maybe that's the biggest thing, is like where you can get at as far as like ranking in that facility in a nursing home. But as far as like day-to-day work as a charge nurse, it's the same. It's the same. So let me know if there's any differences or anything that you know of. Put it in the comment section below. I want to keep doing little short videos like this, kind of just having little conversations. So let me know what y'all want to talk about, what y'all interested in, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.